Hello YouTube land, it's Debbie from the Game Crocheter. I changed some settings on my camera, so hopefully this is not quite as bright. I started filming and it was just like all white. So I'm hoping that this works. If not, next video we'll try it again. It is Tuesday, May 6th. It's been a little while. I don't know how long since I've been on. We've had a really tough month. We've had lots of sad news that we've been dealing with. Yeah, so haven't been really in the mood to be making videos. And I haven't really done, I know you guys are going to complain, but I really haven't done a lot of crafting either because of all this other stuff. So I know you guys are going to say, oh, you do so much, but I have done some stuff, but I would have been able to do more if I was in the mindset. What else have I been up to? Not really that much. I flooded my basement. Oh, my defense, I was very, very tired when this happened. Hubby went away this past weekend, and my little guy Oscar, not only am I dealing with the old dog that has a lot of health issues that you can't really tell because he still looks great. I guess, I don't know if he got a virus or something, and he started vomiting and diarrhea all night long. I was up literally all night. I'm lucky if I got 2 hours of sleep intermittently. And so the next day, I wanted to do some laundry. So I put the laundry on the Saturday, and I don't know how this happens because there was a microfiber cloth in the sink. My washer drains into a sink. I don't use microfiber cloths. I do have some. I bought some when we first moved here thinking they were great for the window. For windows, I don't find that they're that great. So I have a stack of them, but they're in the opposite side of the washer, the wall opposite side of the washer in a basket. How one ended up from over there into the sink, and because I was tired, I didn't notice it. It plugged up the drain. It overflowed right into the basement, and I closed the laundry room door. I didn't hear anything until the evening. I go, okay, I think I want to start a little fire because it's getting a little chilly. I wanted a little fire with my doggos. I go downstairs and I've got like 2 inches of water everywhere. It was not fun. So my neighbor just happened to stop by. I was talking to her and I said, I don't have time to talk right now. And she was worried, so she came over. Her and her husband helped me shot back the whole thing, and we cleaned everything up. And almost towards the end, hubby came home. He cut his trip short. I feel really, really bad, but you know, he's a good guy. So he came. So we've been running fans for the last few days and dehumidifiers. I think it's going to be okay. But yeah, I feel so stupid. So stupid. Anyway, so I've been dealing with all that. So today I said, you know what? I need to get in touch with you guys. Just to say, hey, this is what I've been up to. I've gotten a lot of messages saying, hey, where are you? Well, I'm still here, just, dealing with stuff. Anyway, let's stop babbling. Someone made a comment that I talk too much, that too much chatter. I'm like, I can't win because I try to make my videos about 30 minutes or less. And, I get people saying, it's too short. And then this lady made a comment saying, too much chatter. Well, you can always go to some other channel. But anyway, I try to do that balance. What have I been up to? Okay, well, let's start with the crochet. This one actually technically was done before the last video, but it was blocking. So this is another beach cover. If this is your first time, I'm making a bunch of different beach covers. I'm not even going to try them on off for you as I make them. I will do one video trying them all on at once. So the idea is to make a bunch of them. And I want to make some for my friends when we go away next winter, but I want to make a bunch so that they can choose which pattern they like. So I made this one. Now you're not going to be able to tell because it's double-sided, but let me see. So this is the pattern. Now this pattern, oh, I had it open here. It is by Olga Poltava, and it's How to Crochet Lacy Summer Scarf. And I know that I didn't follow it exactly, but I didn't write it down, and now I can't remember because this was done before the last video. It was just blocking. So anyway, and I said before that I'm not, any of these, none of them are going to have shaping. So I didn't even weave in all the ends, but so no shaping. But it's cute, right? It's cute. Not bad. And it's basically, oh, I had to figure out how to do this. So because it's a scarf pattern, it's just basically a panel. I just made it bigger, and I made one panel, which is the back straight, like just a wide scarf. And then over here, I went up, and then when I got to here, I wanted like a not a V-neck, but a rounder V-neck. So I had to figure that out, which I did, obviously. And then I made two of them. I left an opening for the sleeves, for the arms, and yeah, just seamed it up the sides. So I like this one. I hope they don't choose this one, to be honest with you, only because I can't remember how I did this, so I'm gonna have to refigure it out. But if I have to, I have to. Anyway, so I did that one, and that one is made with ice yarns, and this one took very little yarn. I can't remember how much was in here, but I want to say there were 6 balls in here, and I have 2.5 left. I think it was 6 balls, and this is ice yarns, 70% mercerized cotton and 30% viscose. That was the other thing. I went looking at ice yarns. I wanted something with not just cotton, so I was leaning towards viscoses and, you know, stuff like that. Something a little softer, and this is definitely soft. It's very thin. I'll show you. Very thin. It's a little thicker than thread, but yeah. So I made that one. Now it's blocked, and maybe you can see the pattern better that way. Yeah. So I got that one done. Like I said, that one was done a while ago. And then I made another one. And this one is, it's a pattern. I bought the pattern, which I'm going to show you the pattern, but it's in black and white. You will no longer see color prints from me. Oh my lord, that's another issue. I had this one printer. It was like a year old in January, and it just didn't want to work. And I tried getting on customer service. It was an HP. I've had HP printers before, no problems. And then this one, and I don't know if it's the internet, that it's really bad out here or what. It just kept disconnecting, and then it wouldn't recognize my computer or my phone or anything. It would not recognize it. So after about 3 months of trying everything I can, I said, to hell with it. I just want a plug and play printer, and the cheapest one, and I ended up getting myself a laser. Do you remember the laser printers? They had the big toner cartridges like this. Oh my god. So back to that. It still wasn't cheap. It still cost me 150 bucks, but it's literally plug and play. There's, you know, no Wi-Fi, no nothing that can get screwed up. I plug it in and print. That's it. So unfortunately, laser printers don't come with color. Not that I know of. Anyway, but even if they do, I'm not paying for it. Long story short, I have a new printer, and you're not going to see any more colors. So this pattern is by Off the Hook Crochet. No, MJ's Off the Hook. Lazy Days Kimono. Okay, I'll leave a link. I bought the pattern, but there is a video, so you can absolutely follow the video. And I'm not sure if it's free on her blog or not. I didn't check that. But this is it. So it is a kimono. And the cute little thing is the ends have feathers. Now, my feathers don't look as neat as hers. But let me tell you, this was so much fun to make, except for the feather. Feather was a pain. Feather was a pain. Now she recommends a 5.5 hook with a Knit Picks We Crochet Cotton DK. I used the ice yarns, and I believe I used 3, and mostly this is all that's left, or maybe it's 6, I can't remember. And it's a linen viscose, and it says it's a 3 light, but it is a thick and thin, so there were sections that were like thread. So and I did not use a 5.5, I used a 3.5. No, sorry, 4mm hook. I used a 4mm hook, and it's basically so easy to do. It's basically 2 panels, and you kind of do the chain, and you measure, you know, basically how long you want it, and then you do the pattern. The pattern is like this. Really easy to memorize. And then you do the belt with the feathers, the yarn feathers, and then you belt it, and it's a kimono. Really easy. So, you know, this one didn't take me very long at all. You do have to block it. So you block it before you seam it so that it's nice and flat and even. All the stitches are even, so that when you go to seam, and she uses a, I don't know if you guys can see, she uses a shoelace seam. Easy peasy. And I did, the only thing I changed, 2 things I did. So I didn't like the shoelace join because you have to use a needle and go back and forth. To me it was a pain. So on the sides, I seamed it on the inside using a slip stitch. Easy peasy. And then what I did was I went and added a single crochet all the way around except the sleeves. So the sleeves don't have it, but the rest of the garment has a single crochet. That's the only thing she didn't ask for, which is fine. It's great. Isn't this great? And did I say what this was? Again, it's linen viscose. Doesn't say. It's, oh sorry, it's 30% linen, 34% cotton, and 36% viscose. Very light. I don't think I would use this again though. It is also, it has, how can I say, I don't know if you guys can see that. How can I say this? It's like a green, but there's like a light gray thread, metallic. So it's supposed to give it shine. I get dirty. I don't get shine. To me, it just looks, I don't know if you guys can see that. To me, it just, I'm not impressed with the yarn. So I would not be buying that again. I will use this because it's a beautiful color, but I'm not impressed with the yarn. And I don't know if I can show you. Here's a thick part, and here's a thin part. Now, I'll try to show you. Okay, that's, I'm trying, but you can tell the one on this side here is thicker than that one. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not impressed with the yarn, so I'm not going to buy it anyway. But I'm very happy with this. I hope that they choose this one. This one was so easy to do. And I didn't have to look at the video. It was so easy, very well explained. The only thing that I did look, the wording for the feather was not as easy to understand. So I looked at the video just to how to make the feather. And yeah, easy, nice, I like it. So I did that one. What else have I done? Okay, so I also, oh, let's do the cottons. I have a big bin. As you can tell, I've changed my room around a little bit. You're actually sitting on my sewing machine, so you won't be seeing my sewing machine there anymore. And in my cleaning and reorganizing, I found I have a tub of cotton. Different, you know, kitchen cotton, thinner, and like not a lot of any one. So since my future son-in-law likes the cotton dishcloths, I figured I want to make them and use the scraps that I have. So now I can't remember what these patterns were, but I will look them up before the end of the video and I will link those patterns. I'm pretty sure they were all free, and I will link them down below. But since I have so many colors, and he doesn't care, he's using his dishcloths, I figured, I just went looking on Pinterest for mandala type blocks. Wouldn't this make a nice blanket, like a whole bunch of these? This would be nice. So these are all the different cottons. Oh, I don't even know if you guys, is there a lighting problem? I feel like there is. Anyway, so I just used whatever yarn I had to go around that round. And so I made him that one. Then I tried this other pattern. Was it this way? No, it's this way. Isn't that pretty? And this one I stuck with, I started with the blue and the yellow, which is kind of okay now. But when I started it, it was kind of throwing me off. Because then I switched to dark pink, light pink, lime green, white. Dark pink, light pink, lime green, white, etc., etc. But now it kind of looks good. I like that. So he'll like that too. I get to practice and he gets his dishcloths. And then the last one, I remember doing this one, and it was a much bigger block, but I decided to make it just stop at a certain row. I can't remember which row. Like I said, I will leave the patterns in the drop down menu below. I'll leave the links. You guys can check it out. Yeah. So I had fun with those. They're surprisingly time consuming because some of these, like this one is made with a heavier cotton. That hurts my hands. This one was light, and this one is a mixture of both light and heavy cotton. So this one was fun and easy to do. This one was a little harder on my hands. But yeah, and so every round is a different color. You got to weave in all these ends, and so they're surprisingly time consuming. So my son-in-law will get these. They're going to come visit the end of May, so he'll get them then. Anyway, so in my cleaning process, I found a big garbage bag. It's not a garbage bag, it's like a leaf bag. You know, it's the size of a garbage bag, but it's see-through. Of number 5... what do they call that? Chunky or bulky? Bulky yarn. And oh my god, so it was like half a ball of this, a ball of that, and like you can make a hat maybe with one, but what are you gonna do with it, right? So I thought, okay, I wanted to practice tapestry crochet. I mean, I've done it before, but I wanted to do some more. So I started with this one. I found a little pattern. I will leave, it's a graph. I will leave the graph, the link for it, because it just found it on Pinterest, I believe, or website. I can't remember now. I will leave the link down below. It might be a blog, yeah. And then I just followed, and I created this using, what did I say, bulky? Yeah. Number 5 bulky, and I wanted to start making a blanket. So I went, you know, so I got that one. It's the same on the other side. I thought, oh, that's fabulous. Tapestry is the one that you carry the yarn. So sometimes it's a little wonky because you have to pull the yarn. Anyway, so I made 1, okay, with those colors. Then I made 2. Isn't that cute? Right? So I'm like, oh, they're perfect size. Perfect. And then I went 3. I made one that's 3, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm on a roll. This is easy peasy, and it's such a good graph to practice on. I thought, okay. And then I made this one. So that's number 4, right? But I'm going to show you. I don't know what happened. Look at the size. Look at the size difference. Must be my tension. I got so frustrated. I threw it across the room and said, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do with these ones is I have a few friends that are cat lovers. I'm just going to find some matching fabric, sew this onto the fabric as a pillow cover, and they can have cat pillows. That's what I'll do. But I got very frustrated. I was so angry. Crochet doesn't usually make me angry, but in this case, it made me angry. So I got 3 out of the 4 are the exact same size. And the 5th one, or no, the 4th one, just, I was so angry. So they'll become pillows. So I did that. But then I still had this big bag of bulky yarn. What am I gonna do? So I was searching on Pinterest or in the internet, and I found this pattern. Hold on, I have it open. Where is it? Okay, so it is from a website called, or a blog called the Crochet Village, and it's called Chestnut Throw. Okay, what's that? And I just looked, it looks so good, and I thought, well, I'll just increase the hook size and see where I go with, right? So now you can buy an ad-free version, but let me tell you, it's a 1-row repeat. So you have 2 rows set up, and the first row is just single, I believe, single crochets. Second row is set up. Third row is the one you repeat over and over and over. So I didn't buy the pattern, unfortunately, but I used up all of my 1 ball or less of number 5. Now it is heavy, okay? My husband loves it. He loves weighted blankets, so he has adopted this. It's not very big, so I don't know why he likes it, but I just kept going until I had, till I used up what I had. So this is what you have. Obviously I had a lot of gray. So yeah, it is. Let me show you the stitch. Look at this stitch. The best part, it's reversible. It is exactly the same on the other side. I love it, and I got addicted. So I want to say, mind you, this is using bulky yarn. This took me maybe 3 evenings, so like 2 hours an evening, maybe 6 hours to create this. And hubby loves it. He's already been mangling with it. I did not put a border because he said he doesn't want a border. He doesn't want the color break. But isn't this squishy and soft? And it's all using all of my, so you want to see what I have left in bulky? This is it. Just 2 baggies of bulky. That's it. I'm so happy. So some of these, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'll figure out something. Maybe a scrappy hat or scrappy pillow, or yeah, maybe I'll make a pillow for him. Anyway, so I'm so happy with this, and I was so addicted to the stitch. I said, I want to continue this, but I want to see what it'll look like with the smaller stitch. So this is a work in progress. I have a few of these mandala ombres, which is one of my favorite acrylic yarns to work with. It's so nice to work with it. And the color Cool. Okay. And this is what I'm getting. I hope you guys can see that. It's like little, it reminds me of bubble wrap, you know, because it's just squishy. It's the same on both sides, and it's puffed. Like the stitches is raised. So you got to know how to do front post double crochet. That's all it is. Front post double crochet and regular double crochets. That's it. So easy. So easy. And I'm going to have a blank. It's just, this one's going to be a small one because I only have 4 cakes. So it's just going to be a small one. I don't know who for, but I just love, I'm addicted to doing this stitch. So, why is my camera flashing? I don't know. We're just going to go with it. So I did that. What else? That's all the crochet. I started another, so I did go thrifting, but I found nothing except this. And it was like, I always think that light, because I don't, usually the crochet patterns that you buy are older, like that you find. This one doesn't look very old, and it's called Ravenna Tank by Annie's Crochet. And it was $1, and it was the only thing I bought that day. But it's a cardboard, or like light cardboard of the pattern, and I just loved it. I thought I could do that. And it's not like an older pattern where you struggle. This one's really easily written. And so a while ago, Billy sent me some of this yarn, the Arancania, and I think, I can't remember, what is this made of? 100% viscose, which is feels like silk. It's so soft. So it's this kind of like a champagne color, champagne and a light beige. And so I've started this pattern. Easy peasy so far. This is, I think, 4 rows. Easy peasy. It's the only thing I thrifted. Haven't had any luck, so I've started that. So that's what I'm working on now, plus this blanket. As far as sewing is concerned, the only thing a while ago I thrifted, and like I said, I was cleaning, and I thrifted, somebody had gotten rid of their pre-cut blocks. So I made a little basket. I made the mistake of not lining it, so it's not very stiff, but it holds a bin of my clips. So anyway, so it's already been pre-cut. I didn't have to do any cutting. I just seamed them all together, lined it, created a box bottom. It's really cute fabric, right? So I made that. And then I'm going to show the last thing I sewed after I show you the next thing. A little while ago, a friend in the States, Joan, reached out and she said she wanted one of my scrappy bags. I'm like, sure. Anyway, I made it for her. I sent it to her. And now if I find a picture, I'll put the picture here, if I find it, of the bag that I made for her. Next thing you know, I'm getting a package from Joan. And by the way, she has a channel. Now, I cannot remember how often she posts, but it's a thrifting channel. You don't actually see her. You see her going to thrift stores. So if that's the kind of thing that you like, give her a shout. I'll leave the link down below. Anyway, she sent me this card. It's so cute. Grandma. Thanking me for making the bag, and I'm like, you paid for it. But anyway, she sent me some fabric from her, fabric from her stash. Look at this. Look at this. So much fabric. And she paid to send it to me. So you have some tweed. You have some Christmas quilting cotton. Some eyelet cotton. I don't know if you guys can see that's eyelet cotton. Some more quilting cotton. Quilting cotton. Big pieces too. Christmas quilting cotton. Big pieces. Then there's this one. This one's quite fancy. I know it doesn't look fancy, but there's a sheen to it. The gold, it's just there's a sheen to it. So I'd probably, even though the colors are not Christmassy, I'd probably use it for something Christmassy. Some more cottons here. Okay, some more Christmas cotton. Some basic striped cotton. Then there's this very shiny, slippery, I think this might have to be a hair tie, because sewing with something this slippery, Anyway, and this one, I think it's a knit, but it's like a spandex, but look at the shot, look at the it's like glitter. Like, I wonder if I can make a top for Christmas out of this. Could you imagine that? There's enough here for a top. Look at that. Oh my god, I love it. It would be also a cool bag too, right? I love it. So I honestly have never seen anything like that. Mind you, I don't go to fabric stores, so I don't even know this is copyright Nip, Cow, and Cobalt Ink. And the pattern's called Mystique. Do you remember, oh, I shouldn't talk, but do you remember in the 70s and early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, they had those, just those tank tops, and then they had this like droopy fabric here, you know? That's what it reminds me of. I would never wear that now, but anyway. And then there was some upholstery fabric. So like, look at this. This is just a small piece, but this is like a velvet. It's so nice. And then there's this piece. This is like a fleece, not a fleece, felt, like a felt. Oh my god, and it's a big piece. interesting. I've never seen felt like this, right? Then this is definitely an upholstery fabric. It definitely, look at that. And then this one, I think we've all had curtains like this at one time or another, right? Okay, camera's telling me to talk too much. Anyway, and the last piece in here is like a flannelette, but it is like cashmere. It feels like cashmere. I might have to make a scarf out of this one. Oh, love it. Thank you, Joan. But the best part is, there was two pieces in there, and as soon as I opened it up, I said, I have to make something out of it. And you guys all know I like to thrift, and I needed a big bag, so I made this one. So this was no lining needed because it's canvas. And it's got the lollipops. I love it so much. And then this was a cotton, but it reminds me of like a ticking, you know, like a mattress ticking or old-fashioned sheets. It was definitely cotton. So, and then this one, all I did was I sewed it, come on, and then I just rolled the inside out a little bit so that it matches the handles, because the handles are made of the same material. So this is my bag, my thrifting bag. I have a couple of them, but this one's gonna be my favorite. Isn't this fantastic? Love it. So I made that right away. Like as soon as I opened it, I needed to pick me up. I was having a rough week when I got it. And this definitely did it. Thank you. Joan, you're the best. I don't even know what to say. You did not have to do this, but because you already paid for the bag. So, but anyway, I appreciate it, and can't wait to play some more with those fabrics. I know some of my neighbors already put in requests for bags, so maybe that's what these will become. Anyway, that's all I have. I'm always working on something. So, yeah. I'm one of these people that I'm not monogamous. Well, I'm monogamous in my marriage, but not monogamous in my crafting. In my crafting, I cannot do the same thing. I have to be working on multiple projects. I have 3 quilts that I'm working on. I have 3 planned. And my friend, I know I promised you a scrap quilt. I'm about halfway done. So you gotta give me a little more time. And I'm working on a Halloween quilt and another quilt, and then crochet projects. I have those 2 projects, plus I have a blanket to make as well. It's a graph blanket. So I got the yarn, I just need to start making it. Anyway, I'm so sorry I'm taking way too long, and to the person who says I'm too chatty, you don't have to watch. But I hope everyone is having a wonderful May so far, and I probably will not be back before Mother's Day. So I want to wish all the mothers a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. And if you're like, you know, a mom of a human child, a mom of a dog, a mom of a cow, whatever, if you consider yourself a mom, I wish you the best Mother's Day ever. And that's it. I hope everyone is having a wonderful May, and will have a wonderful May, and we will talk soon.